Uganda is rated partly free as far as internet freedom is concerned. And the key developments between May 2012 and April 2013 is that there were no reports of internet content being blocked or filtered during this period, though various government officials publicly expressed the need to police online discussions. The Uganda Communications Act was passed in September last year, creating a new media regulatory body that has been criticized for its lack of independence from the government. Then SIM card and mobile internet registration continued through early 2013 amid concerns that the registration requirements infringe on the right to privacy, given the lack of necessary data protection law. And then government harassment for online writing was documented, while suspicions of proactive government surveillance of online communications increased in the past year. The most recent statistics put Ugandan internet users at about 6 million. By the time of writing this report, we had a figure of about 5 million. But I saw a story not so long ago that said 6 million users. Internet penetration continues to grow in Uganda, and access is now estimated at about 15% of the population. But accessibility is still hindered by poor infrastructure, prohibitive costs, and poor quality of service. And recent measures have exacerbated the rural-urban divide in access to information and communication technologies, such as the ban on counterfeit mobile phones and compulsory SIM card registration. Overall, however, freedom to access the internet via computer-based applications and mobile devices remains generally unfettered. There were no reported incidents of government interference with ICTs in 2012 or early 2013, though there have been increasing indications that the government intends to monitor online discussions, as demonstrated by various statements made by government officials in 2012, calling for the policing of social media platforms. And the same was re-echoed by the security minister in early this year, when he said those who tarnish the government's name online will be dealt with. While the ICTs continued to expand across Uganda over the past year, resulting in increasing access to both internet and mobile phone services, by the end of 2012, there was an estimated 5 million internet users in the country, for a penetration rate of about 15%, up from 13% in 2011, and just 4% in 2007. Broadband internet is available mostly in urban areas, with only 0.11% of the population estimated to have fixed line broadband subscriptions in 2012. As such, many Ugandans access internet at cyber cafes, where it's still the cheapest. For less than $1, you can get an hour of browsing. Meanwhile, mobile phone penetration stands at about 46%, with a reported 17 million subscribers, up from 4.2 million in 2007. But multiple SIM card ownership remains common. Internet access via mobile devices is becoming increasingly popular due to the growing availability of cheap mobile internet bundles, with mobile broadband penetration estimated at 7.6% by the end of 2012. The number of industry players has also grown over the years, and many now offer comparable prices and technologies. There are about 34 telecommunication service providers that offer both voice and data. Aside from the state-owned Uganda Electricity Transmission Company, which is licensed public infrastructure provider that has part ownership of Uganda Telecom, other licensed service providers are privately owned entities. There are no known obstacles or licensing restrictions placed by the government on entry into the ICT sector. and new players continued to enter the market in 2012 and 2013. For example, Yaklik, a satellite broadband services provider, was launched in February 2013, while K2 Mobile was launched only a month earlier. The two joined a competitive market dominated by bigger, well-established telecom brands. Furthermore, with only 15% of Ugandans living in urban areas, the divide between rural and urban access to the internet is very high due to low literacy rates, including computer literacy. Uganda's national fiber cable is connected to the EASSY, I'm not sure how we pronounce that, International Submarine Fiber Optic Cable System that runs along the eastern southern coast of Africa. Telecom providers and SICO marine fibers are also hooked to TIMS, the East African Marine System, and SICO marine fibers through Kenya. Connection to these fibers has led to an exponential growth in Uganda's international bandwidth, which has decreased the cost of internet access, along an increasing demand for data services and high-speed internet. In addition, the Rural Communications Development Fund was established in 2001 with the aim of providing access to basic communication services within a reasonable distance to all Ugandans, leveraging investments for rural communications and promoting overall ICT usage. The fund further supports the establishment of internet cafes, internet points in rural areas, ICT training centers, and web portals for local government districts. UCC, the Uganda Communications Commission, Uganda's telecom sector regulator, is mandated to independently coordinate, facilitate, and promote the sustainable growth and development of ICTs in the country. UCC also provides information about regulatory process and quality of service, and it issues licenses for ICT infrastructure and service providers. There is a general perception, however, that the comprehensive and coherent information about the Commission's operations is not always accessible, and that the board is not entirely independent from the executive arm of the government. In addition, UCC's current executive director has been regarded as overzealous in his efforts to police and rein in operators, illustrating how the personal character of the regulatory authority's leadership can, in large measure, determine its activities and regulations. In September 2012, the Uganda Parliament passed the Uganda Communications Act 2012, which consolidated the provisions of the 1996 Electronic Media Act and 2000 Uganda Communications Act, and merged the UCC and the Uganda Broadcasting Council into the body, the Uganda Communications Regulatory Authority. The new body has been criticized for its lack of independence from government. In particular, the law places disproportionate power in the hands of the ICT minister, who will have the authority to approve the new regulator's budget and appoint members of its board with approval from the cabinet. There is no independent mechanism in place to hold the regulator accountable to the public. While the new law provides for the creation of the Uganda Communications Tribunal, which is an appeals body with powers of the High Court, its membership and advisors are appointed by the President and the ICT Minister. This is the bit about the limits on content. During this period, there were no reported incidents of government interference with the internet since the 2011 elections. The Uganda Media Center is also on there. We have a few government officials like Ofono Kondo, who now reply to people's concerns online.